Welcome to episode 378 of the Geeks for the Win podcast, the tech and gaming podcast from thegeeksforthewin.com, where we cover all things geeky. I'm your host, William McDonald, and I'm joined with my co-host, Stuart.
10 years. 10 years.
Yeah, that's right. It's been 10
This
years.
podcast
Like,
is 10 years old.
like let's not don't get us wrong. It hasn't been every week for 10 years.
Right. I turned you off.
Because sorry, we're regular people and have lives, and this isn't our full-time thing where we can just do
Unfortunately.
that. Like, and I'll take, I'll take blame for a lot because I had during those 10 years I had a lot of bad shit happen.
You've had a rough 10 years. Like you've not had a good 10 years. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. I had my dad pass away I had my brother pass away in 2012, then my dad in 2013, and then my mom in 2017. So yeah, there was a lot of times throughout there that I was just like, like actually there were times where we had just gave up and quit and then came back like a month later because we were like, well, that was dumb. We shouldn't quit.
Well, it was more of a giving you time and not having to worry about a podcast and just just you dealing with your things, and then
realizing I still like to have this outlet to give my opinions, and which is how this started. We were listeners of podcasts, and at least for me, I was listening to podcasts and thinking I still do this to this day, where I'm listening and hearing people talk about stuff, and they don't necessarily have all the facts right, and they're talking about things, and I'm arguing at the I'm literally yelling at whatever podcast player I'm listening to, like, no, this is how it is, stuff like that, or I
sure,
have my opinions that they don't even think of, and
I still do that. I mean, I'll be driving along or whatever, and then I'll pause the podcast and say something out loud in the car. It's like, no, that's not how it went. It's like this.
And it's just kind of baffling that a lot of the times these people, it's like that's their job, is to keep up with news and stuff like that. But yet a lot of these, people who do podcasts, part of their job, they're like not as informed.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Saucy Taters?
Hey, Saucy, what's up? It's.
I can tell you, like, I can tell you the day, but I remember the podcast I was listening to that made me want to podcast. I was sitting, this was back when I was in college, so that was a long time ago. That was more than 10 years ago. I was sitting in the dining center. I was listening to an episode of Uncle Gamer.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Or it might have been, it was either Uncle Gamer or Remember When. I can't remember which one it was now, because they did both those shows. And I think it was Uncle Gamer, because it was Jay's last episode. Because he left because he joined like the gaming industry or whatever, so by contract he couldn't do a gaming podcast.
He came back though, and they've done more Remember When since then. I know that.
Well, it had been Uncle Gamer, because I think they started to Remember When so they could continue podcasting together.
Gotcha.
So it had been Uncle Gamer, and it was Jay talking about why he got into podcasting that made me want to also get into podcasting. And then Then I started a podcast that lasted like 4 episodes, and then came a certain talking about games game night where we were playing Team Fortress 2. And that spawned this show that has gone on for 10 years now.
Yeah, and we've had a handful of we've had about a handful of random guest host or temporary co-hosts.
We've had a third chair. First it was Mark. Then it was Harold.
There's some beef there. That was just kind of.
I wasn't gonna say anything. Then it was Harold, and then it was Knox. And
was it Harold and Knox, or was it Knox Harold?
I thought it was Harold and Knox.
Regardless, yeah. That was a long time ago, though. Yeah, that was like, for whatever reason.
I don't know. Maybe if Knox pops on, he can tell us.
We couldn't keep a third chair for whatever reason.
Yeah, and then it just became the two of us for ever since. Yeah, probably over half of it. Has been just the two of us.
It became easier just for it to be the two of us. Like, not that we would ever. I don't think either of us would be opposed to having someone else join.
No, and we've talked about, like, there's stuff that we want to do that we need more people for. We just don't have any more people that could do it on the regular to do certain things we want to do.
Certain people we know wanted to join. We would definitely be like, sure, we'll give you. We'd probably give. If it was select certain people we know, I'm sure we'd give them like a trial period to see how they mesh with us. But for the most part, we're both just like relax and chill about it. Like, we both really don't like drama, so
yeah. I
we both kind of try to avoid any
dramas for high school, and high school was way too long ago.
I didn't try to avoid confrontation at all cost.
Yep. Yep.
Like, I go out of my way, like, to try to avoid any type of confrontation. Any type.
Yeah, but digging around in some of our old files and stuff, I found something that I forgot I did. I happen to know that Will is the center of every drama every day. Okay, yeah, you know what? I wasn't going to say anything, but you're not wrong, Saucy. You're not wrong. I found an old intro that we used once.
Really?
That I made.
Like, we only used once.
We only used once because this was for a certain episode. This was an E3 episode in 2011.
Oh boy, I'm afraid.
I listened to him like, holy fuck, I put a lot of effort into this one. Why have I not put any effort into anything I've done since? Like, it made me ashamed. But here's that E3 2011 intro.
Welcome to E3 2011. Welcome.
Hello everyone. I'm very happy to be with you today.
Xbox 360.
Welcome to EA's Game Changer.
Ubisoft. PlayStation. Nintendo. Look, we hear you. You want what you've always wanted.
That wasn't that bad.
Quality, yeah.
I was like,
I don't know.
Why have I not put that much effort into anything I've done since?
I always grin whenever anything with, was it Yves Guillemot?
Yeah.
The CEO of Ubisoft. Like,
yeah.
He's just so likable. I just really like him.
He's an adorable man.
He really is. He is so charming. But yeah, it's interesting. What was I gonna say? We've had dips where we've been like, when we started out, it was just the quality was bad. Like it gets to the point where I'm like, I never want to listen to our first.
You hate the idea of listening to our very first episode.
Oh, it's so cringy. Like, because
we had no idea what
now.
Yeah, well, we had really no idea what we were doing. We didn't have, and technology wasn't where it is today. To make like a lot of things just make this a lot easier to do now.
Oh yeah, anyone can make a podcast. I was talking to someone and saying like, you can get a mic, you can get they have mic sets where it's like, the shock mounts and the boom arms and all, and the microphone and all that for like $50 on Amazon that are decent. Like they're not the best, but they're
right. They'll do what you need.
They'll do what you need, and then, you got Audacity, which is free free and really good. Like it's really good editing software for audio.
And I've definitely tried other editing softwares. Probably the best that I've tried has got to be Adobe Audition. Because there's a lot of stuff in Adobe Audition that I like. That like Adobe Audition has literally like settings for podcasts. Like you just go, this is a podcast. Okay, so it does a lot of auto settings already.
That makes sense because like that's a program that will update because they want you to keep buying.
It's also not free.
Yeah,
which is why
is completely
I don't
free
use it now. And
yeah. But like, knowing what we know now, like, and also there's like, you can upload to like, I think like Podbean or a bunch of other stuff for free, and it just like,
oh sure, there's a ton of free hosting sites.
But I think we started, man, we've done so much different stuff throughout the 10 years of how we got the podcast out to people and the different quality levels and whatnot. We kind of took a step back in quality, I think. Because we used to record our own separate audios and then mix them together in the editing process.
I don't want to call that a step back in quality because with how I record, it sounds fine. It sounds the same.
But there's still the we're subject to internet lag or if Discord takes a crap or something like that.
It's to a point though where it doesn't happen like it used to.
That's true, yeah.
And also, we're not using Skype anymore, so we're not subject to Skype problems.
Skype, or was it Google Hangouts we used? And that was a nightmare for me, at least, because for whatever reason, Google Hangout wants to change your mic audio like settings like automatically.
Right, it was trying to auto level you.
Yeah,
and it's just like, no, stop that.
Like the random, like, oh, my dog's barking in the background. Oh, and it just messed up the whole, audio settings because there was that one high-pitched bark in the background and, stuff like that. So Discord definitely is great. I definitely like how Discord is.
Yes.
And I've seen a lot of other people with podcasts, they use Discord now.
Yes, same.
So yeah,
But we've been doing this a long ass time.
yeah. 10 years, but what have you been up to, Stuart? Well, we're
Okay, yeah.
kind of making this talk about anything style episode, kind of back to our roots where that's how it was we were just like
Yeah, but
anything
let's
and
not
everything
make
geeky.
this a 4-hour
No,
podcast.
no,
Let's not go that far back.
Let's not go that far back because back then we were able to do that because we had nothing else to do.
Right.
We didn't really have lives.
And then the audio got messed up, and we recorded we recorded again the next day, 4 hours long again. Oof.
Yeah, we haven't done that, and yeah, if it messes up, we're like, oh well, I guess we're just not having a show this week.
Pretty much, yeah. Let's see. I did something, and you did something. We both independently,
Which
downloaded
happens a
TikTok.
lot. This tends to happen a lot to us.
Yes, we tend to do the same things at the same time, which is odd.
It's funny. It just shows, how alike we are.
Yeah. Although we both downloaded TikTok. I downloaded it because my sister sent me a TikTok. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna check out this. What actually TikTok is, because I have yet to actually look at the platform as a whole yet. 6 hours later, I'm still scrolling like, oh fuck, what have I done?
I still don't understand what TikTok is, to be honest.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that how is this different than Vine? Like there are certain things like this is no different than a Vine.
Oh, yeah, but then again, you'll find some TikToks that are like over a minute long, and it's like
most of them that I've come across are over a minute or a minute long, because that's the time limit.
Yeah, or you know what I mean, but yeah. So it's interesting. It's funny because what is it? I keep seeing Kevin Hart's TikToks, and his are just
His are
are
great.
how I feel. His are great because like there'll be one where he's like running through his like his production studio hallway, like, hey, you want to be in my TikTok? You want to be in my TikTok?
You want to be in my TikTok? I'm doing TikTok.
And
yeah,
and
his are great.
People are like, you don't understand what TikTok is. You're not doing it. And he's like, yeah, I'm doing a TikTok. I'm on TikTok right now. And it's like, exactly.
the very first one of his I saw, he was at home alone. Well, he was at home. He was like laying on his couch or whatever, and he's saying, like, hey, I'm on TikTok now. I'm doing TikTok now. And you hear like his kids or something in the background going, that's not how you do it. That's not how you do a TikTok. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm on TikTok right now. This is how I'm doing TikTok.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh my god, we're becoming old, because that's exactly how
that's exactly how we feel. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, but I mostly got on it because I've been seeing like, was it Kind of Funny? They have like they have a show called Internet Explorers where they like, kind of comb over the internet and stuff like that, and they show you like TikToks or random Twitter videos or Instagram stuff like that. And they're always showing TikToks that are really cool or funny of animals, particularly like dogs. And that's where I'm like, show me a cool video with a dog and I'm down. Like
there's been some TikToks, and I don't know if it's just because it's 3:00 in the morning when I'm watching this one, but I cry laughing because they're so fucking funny.
Is it I'm not sure how it works exactly. Like, is it locate? Does it filter like location based? Because I'm seeing a lot of like,
because I see a lot
Oklahoma, whatever.
I see a lot of Indiana. Like I saw a bunch of, hey, I guess this is the new trend now, being from Indiana.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of like, Oklahoma life or whatever, and
yes, I see a lot of Indiana ones.
someone showing a video of a public street and someone's chasing a random, like, I guess, cow on a horse, and they're like lassoing him, and they're like, "Hey, Oklahoma life," or stuff like that, or someone riding a tractor, or a riding lawnmower through the actual streets of a town.
That's so different than mine because mine might have been like, hey, here's this cool shop in Indy where like when like Target stuff has to get rid of their stuff, they just ship them to this store, and you can buy it like 90% off. So I bought this thing, and this thing that normally would have cost $150. It cost me $25. I'm like, oh fuck, where's that store?
And there's one I liked there where it was something like Oklahoma's life or something in that regards, and it was like Monday, and it's showing like how you have to dress, according weather wise, and it's like, oh, shorts and a t-shirt, and then it just slowly changes because in Oklahoma, like, the weather is just it's not consistent. It is
That's the
definitely not consistent.
Midwest. That's everywhere in the Midwest. Everybody says that, oh, it's
Yeah.
different here. No. It's the same fucking everywhere.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not like that in other places similar to Oklahoma, but I'm just saying, like, that's in Oklahoma, that's how
I saw one.
Like,
It was like, yeah, that's right. It was this guy saying, whoever is in control of the weather, please take it off shuffle.
yeah. I mean, like, it was recently we had snow one day and then like 60, 70-degree weather the next day. Like, literally. And
Yeah,
it's just like,
it was like 60s on Tuesday, and then yesterday it snowed maybe about 6 inches.
yeah, people who are like from here, they're just like okay with it. But you see people who move here from somewhere else it's not like that, and they're just like, what is going on?
Yeah,
It's just how
but
it's just how the weather
that's
is
everywhere
in this
though.
area.
That's literally everywhere. Like,
I guess I don't know. I'm just telling you the stuff I see. It's also like the memes. There's one meme where it's like, let me play you the sound of my people, and it's like it's literally like a picture of a tornado siren, like, because Oklahoma has a lot of tornadoes.
yep, I get that one. What I started coming across, like the very first day I downloaded it, I started seeing a trend that I was worried this might be the only thing I start seeing now.
Oh, the same like 5 videos, but people are doing like the audio
No.
different video footage.
I'm seeing that cosplayers.
Oh, I haven't gotten any.
That's what I saw a lot of. Like,
I'm jealous.
I saw tons of them, and about, I'd say 70% of them were My Hero Academia cosplayers.
Oh, I did see there was a channel. It was like the Your Turn whatever, and it was a lot of people doing the All Might It's Your Turn, like they were making their own videos. Like,
that was an
I think,
ad.
a TikTok channel.
That was an ad.
No, I mean, there's a lot of different people doing that one though. Like,
no, that is literally a, like, when I opened up to TikTok earlier today, like the very first page was the ad for the movie, and I clicked on it, and it took me to that. It took me to people doing that.
So, My Hero Academia paid for those videos to be shown.
I don't know if they paid for the people to do them, but like they put the ad on TikTok and made it a challenge.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Okay, so they made that. It wasn't just a thing that people did. Okay.
Well, yes.
That makes sense now. Because I'm like, I'm not quite sure. Well, this is kind of goofy. I watched like maybe 5 of them and was like, okay, this is kind of dumb.
Yeah, but I've seen a lot of cosplayers, and even if I go see a video, and I click on like other videos that use this audio, probably half of them are cosplayers.
Wow.
Even if the original video is not a cosplayer. And some of them are really freaking good. But yeah, I got sucked down the hole of TikTok, and I understand why it's addictive.
I'm seeing a lot, like I said, a lot of repeats, like a lot of like people doing their own versions, but it's the same audio.
Oh,
like
that's
for instance,
that is literally what TikTok is, though. I mean that's really
like,
what
for instance,
what it mostly is.
The Step Brothers fight, like where they're like, oh, swear on your mom's life that you didn't touch my drum set, and I don't have to swear nothing. And
Oh,
there are people
okay.
like, oh, here's a
Yeah,
dog
yeah.
and a cat reacting, and they put that audio to it, or here's this and
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's one I see a lot. I see another one where it's I don't know, I don't know what this is from, but it's like one, it's a real high pitched voice, and it's like, bye, I'm gonna miss you, and the other one's like, I'm gonna miss you too, and bye, like it goes on
Yep.
for like
I've seen that
30
one. I've also
seconds.
seen that original video.
I don't know the original video. Yeah, I thought I saw one, and I'm like, okay, is this the original video? And I thought it was
Well,
just, and then I started seeing more like it,
usually
and I'm like, okay, I don't know now.
if you like down like the bottom right hand corner, like where like the audio is being played, you can click that and see all the videos that use that audio. The very first one is the original. Is always the original video. Like it might not be the original song or like the original music video, but it's where that person uploaded that audio to. It's the very first person that uploaded that audio.
Yeah, I haven't gone as deep as you, not nearly as deep. I've like limited myself. I've realized, oh, this has been like 30 minutes. I need to like stop.
Oh no. I was like, oh, it's been 4 hours. I can keep going.
Yeah, I'm like, no, this has been like 30, maybe 40 minutes. Like just it's like I'm watching something on TV, and then I just looking at my phone, and I see something funny, and I'm like, okay, I need to pause this and watch and then it's like 30 minutes later, and I'm like, oh, I was actually watching in the middle of watching something on TV. I need to get back to that. But yeah,
What
it's
the most annoying thing that I've come across are people who like they tell stories, and I don't find like the stories annoying. In fact, sometimes I find them quite interesting. But they do it in multiple parts.
oh yeah.
So it's like
part
oh
two's tomorrow.
like for part 2, that kind of a thing. And like, okay, where's part 2? Oh, it turns out that video was back in November, and this person uploads about 5 TikToks a day. I'm never seeing this part 2.
I just get here. I'm not familiar with the way the UI and all that works, and I'm kind of it's a little confusing for me. I'm not quite sure how to sort things or how to navigate things quite well. I guess maybe I just need to spend more time with it. But
It's not hard.
and like I said, I'm not sure how it is the whole Oklahoma stuff, and now I'm getting a lot of Texas stuff, I guess, because I'm like I live. It's called Texoma
Well,
because it's like
it is seen
30 minutes away
where,
from Texas.
It is seeing your GPS and
Yeah.
looking for things that are close, that are either from around you or stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm starting to like get Texas stuff, and I'm like, I don't care about Texas stuff.
If you hold down on the video, you'll pop up and say, I'm not interested.
Like I don't want to look at the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders TikTok. I really don't. Like,
Why the fuck not?
because they're Dallas Cowboys. I
But they're the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
yeah. Whatever, sure. But yeah, there's some weird stuff. There's some weird TikToks and there's some interesting stuff and I'm kind of the thing I kind of don't like the repeats. Like people doing their own versions of like I was saying like I don't like seeing like five
Then you're not
different
gonna like TikTok. You're not.
like I like the original stuff, you know?
Well, what you're
Like there's
what you're
one
what you're mostly seeing are repeats. You're rarely gonna see the originals.
there's one, I don't know if you've seen this one where the dude's like this situation is what happens with Wendy's. This situation is what happens with Burger King. This situation is what happens with McDonald's. And it's like
I've
the
not
guy
seen that one.
calling in like, oh, I like I did something, I can't make it to work, or I like I got in a car or like it's something not that the Burger King was the car wreck, but it starts with like Wendy's and it's like, oh, I'm not going to be able to come in, something happened, or and it's very minor, and they're like, oh, they're real patient and considering, and then it's Burger King and they get a little kind of ghetto and they're a little impatient, and then McDonald's is straight up ghetto, like, no, you need to come. And the dude's like, but my leg is broken, and it's like, you need to come into work or you're fired, like. And it's just different situations
I
where it's
have not
just
seen
like,
that one.
I need to send them to you. If you heart it, can you go? I'm assuming if you heart stuff, you can go back to them, right?
Yes.
You can. Okay, I'll send you a couple of those because those are pretty hilarious. And they're pretty funny. I'm noted, and it's just come across the same guy who's done like a few different versions of those, different situations,
Mm-hmm.
and they're pretty funny. But yeah, whenever you get those random like the actual original creative ones, those are I think the best. I love those so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just got to a point where I was watching, like I said, that Internet Explorer show, and they were showing a bunch of stuff, and I'm just like, well, why not? I could check this out, and I take the bus, so public transportation, so I'm I've got time where I'm just not doing anything, so this will be a good. And I don't really game on my phone that much.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't find the mobile games very
I just haven't
interesting
found it.
after a while.
Yeah, I just haven't found a game in a while that has hooked me, you know? A lot of the games are just like, just all focused on paid, like, oh, you've done everything you can. 15 minutes, you've done everything you can for the day. Pay to do more,
Yeah.
pay to speed up this timer. And I'm like, no, I'm good with that. I don't want to pay I don't want to pay like $5 just so I can do more missions on this Marvel game or, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that and I'm trying to like not be like dumb when it comes to like popular stuff like I have been in the past.
Like
Like
I sent you a meme yesterday when I was years old, and you're like, I have not seen this.
I mean, it took me a year before you told me what Gangnam Style was. I still don't know how I like
I don't know how
missed
you
that.
missed that one. I don't know how you missed that
I
one.
I have no clue how I missed that one, like, for a whole year, but yeah. But yeah, so and that's another reason why I like try to watch like, that Internet Explorer show or stuff like that. Like Achievement Hunter started their own kind of show
Hmm.
like that.
Yeah.
Now they stopped.
They're switching on and off between one show and
And
another one.
it's funny because the Achievement Hunter one, um, it started with this great production value, and then like a few episodes later, it's just them like it just them like sitting at their computers, like
Right. Yeah. Which I mean, really, that's all it. Oh, that's all it really needed to be.
It's true, but it was still kind of weird that it's like, they had like the fancy touch screen, like
And they were on a set and everything. Yeah.
yeah, like the, was like the Soup or whatever type shows,
Yeah.
What what are the two big shows that were on TV? The Soup, and then there was something else, Soup, right?
Ridiculousness.
No, there was the Soup, and then there was another one that was, I swear it was something else, Soup.
There was Talk Soup.
Because there was one with Joel McHale, right? And then there was
Right, that
one
was a
with
Soup.
someone else on another network. There was also Tosh.0, right? That was another one.
Oh yes, that was another one.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I didn't care for Daniel Tosh, so I didn't really watch a whole lot of Tosh.0.
I didn't either. Yeah, Talk Soup and Soup. Okay. Yeah, that's what. Yeah. No. Okay, yeah. The Soup was on E, and then there was one on G4. No, Comedy Central. There was one on Comedy Central, right?
That was Tosh 2.0.
I don't. Okay.
I mean, there's
Web Soup. That was
Web
one.
Soup.
That was
Okay.
That was yeah. Okay. That was on G4 with. Was it Chris Hardwick? Chris Hardwick. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember there was two of the same similar shows that were both like Soup and Web Soup, and they both had two guys who looked very similar to each other.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I remember at the time thinking this is kind of funny, like they're, but yeah. Yeah, was it ridiculousness? That's like, I don't know how that's on, like, what is that? It's on like season an ungodly amount of seasons.
I
And
don't
it's like
know.
how is it on that? Like,
My dad watches it all the time, and I have no idea. Like, why is my dad watching this show? But he loves it. He loves it. I don't get it. I don't get why he likes it, because he's
okay,
he's not that type of person.
First episode was in 2011, and they're on season 16. So it's like, okay, that's, or no, wait, season, I don't know, something. It says season 16 episodes, but then it says season 13. I don't know. But yeah, it's more episodes than years it's been, or more seasons than years it's been on. That
Yeah.
always confuses me when that happens. It's like,
Yeah.
you have multiple seasons a year, but the production values on those shows are like, they're paying for the talent,
Right. Yes.
and that's it. And see, I've never really been a fan of that show, but I used to watch the other shows, like that was it Rob Dyrdek did, like Robin
like
Big,
Robin Big.
and the Fantasy Factory. That was the other one he did after Big left from Robin Big. Yeah. But yeah, I've never been a fan of watching like for the most part other people, like, oh look, the America's Funniest Home Video style stuff,
Mm-hmm.
where for the most part it's like, oh look, hey, he fell and hit himself in the nuts. Like it's funny, but as you get older, you're like, well, that's just not funny. Like,
Right.
you start to think like, oh, I don't ever want that to happen to me. No.
Right.
No. And like I said, it is a thing where you get older, because I will admit I was an immature teenager watching,
Oh, sure.
videos of of people doing skateboard tricks and falling and hitting themselves in the nuts and laughing or jackass and
Yeah,
all that
I
stuff.
I could I couldn't do skateboarding fails just because a lot of those ended up in like broken bones, and you could like
Oh, I
see
can't do
see the
that stuff.
breaks,
No.
and I can't watch that stuff. I can't watch that
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
like people like I hear people like whenever like basketball player like has an injury where he like breaks his leg and people are like, "Oh, if you watch the video, it's just." I'm like, "No, I'm not watching that video because that is real life horrendous. Like, I do not want to see someone's leg bone pop out of their flesh. Like, no, that is
Right,
the
and
stuff of nightmares."
yeah, every time I watch a UFC fight, I think back to this one video I saw many years ago. I don't know if it was real or not. It could have been fake. I don't know. It scarred me enough. Like this guy is like kicking this other guy, and all of a sudden you see his leg kind of wrap around the other guy's leg or leg.
Oh, I think I know that. I think I know what you're
Like,
talking about.
oh my god!
Yeah.
Like that has scarred me forever. Like I cannot watch a UFC video or anything like that because I keep that's going to end bad. I just see it. I can see it.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That sounds
That
so
or
familiar.
arm wrestling. I saw a video. It was
Ooh.
like a professor in arm wrestling. I cannot. It has scared me away from even doing arm wrestling, just because I saw a guy he was arm wrestling. All of a sudden, you can see just his arm just go. Like,
Ugh.
nope. I'm just never going to ever arm wrestle ever again. Nope.
Yeah. Anyways, TikTok. Yeah, we should move on.
Yeah, TikTok. Yeah. None of that stuff's on TikTok. Not that I've come across. So that's good.
Thankfully, none of that stuff. Yeah. We haven't come across. Maybe it's on there, but thankfully we haven't. All right.
That was technically mine. So I guess you're up. Because we're doing a back and forth, like we do.
Back and okay, I've got I started playing like the Division 2.
Oh
and it runs like crap. It does not run well on PC. Like I'm serious, Stuart. Like it uses the CPU usage is like not even on the ultra high settings, but on like medium to medium high is like 80% usage just for the Division 2, nothing else.
Wow. Yeah.
And like the lowest I've gotten it to is like 60% usage just for itself. And this isn't like a problem apparently that's been through like that since it came out, since the Division 2 came out. That because when something doesn't work, you go to Google and you try to see if other people have the same issue. And yeah, people had the same issue back in April of 2019, and none of the stuff had any actual like I spent a good hour and a half looking through the internet trying to find a solution, to the point where I saw some people like, "Oh, edit the this file and that file," and I'm like, "I'm not doing that. That's not something I'm doing. I'm not going into the actual files of the game and editing them because like
if you break some, you can just reinstall it. That's not that big.
well, that, and I just don't want like the anti-cheat programs or whatever to maybe see it, or I don't know. It's just, and apparently even that people were saying, "Oh, I did that and it didn't really help too much." And I think some of the issue that I've seen some people say is that it's not optimized well to where the GPU isn't being taken advantage of as much, so that the CPU
sounds like
so
it.
this because the GPU is like, when you look at, like, I pull up Task Manager, and look, and the GPU usage is like nothing. But like I
Yeah,
said, the CPU would be like
that sounds like
80%, and it'll be like my whole CPU will be running at 100% because of other stuff, the system and everything else in the background, and then the game running at 80 to it's gone up to 90, just the game alone. And I think Pantsa Steve, I think he said that was similar to him, and he kept playing it, and I'm like, no, this is bad for your computer, like for it to be running that high CPU usage for long periods of time.
Yeah, like that. Yes.
Like, and I spent a good few hours trying to, research that and then tweaking settings, seeing like, okay, can I turn this down? And there are some settings where it's like you have to restart the game in order to, for this setting to actually apply. So that was always a pain to have to, change this setting, restart it, see if it made any difference at all.
Mm.
Um, so I got fed up with that, and I was like, I'm not gonna do this. And then I decided, hmm, GeForce Now is out officially, and you get 3 free months when you sign up for their the first 3 months for their like premium service is free,
Uh.
is a free introductory thing. And I remember the beta because I was part of the beta. I remember that being really good, and it is fantastic. It There's no, like, at least for me, granted I am hardwired, you know, and I've
Right.
got, a good connection, but there's like no input lag. Like I'm able to run and click the button and yeah, like I'm able to run and vault over objects and stuff and have no issue at all. And I'm just like surprised like how good it actually works.
That sounds
And I
like
also
it's a good fix for about 3 months.
and I also well the I did there was a Nvidia update today that apparently is gonna help fix some of the Division 2 stuff, maybe? I don't know.
I saw the update and I saw like Division 2. I'm like, that's weird why that's on there.
So hopefully maybe that helps fix it, but I also was like, there's a phone version for the GeForce. I'm gonna try this just because. So I fire up Destiny 2 on it because they have an event or whatever where you like donate this like thing called fractalines that you earn or whatever towards this, and it's like this the community has to get to like 9,777,000,000 whatever bunch of sevens after that, like donated, and then it's going to unlock essentially the community got to it already, but it unlocks Trials of Osiris for next season, which everybody wanted to come back. That was the premier PvP mode of D1 last year or last game D1. But like you're also when you donate though, you can also buy these like weapon bounties, and as you donate, it's weird because it just like it gives you XP towards the bounties, so you can just like buy bounties, donate donate 400 of the fractal lines as they're called, and then all the bounties you had purchased or of those type of bounties that give you actual weapons, like they're completed. So it's a great way to just like, I guess, try go for random rolls of weapons. So I was just doing that and stuff like that, and I got a couple good weapons, and I moved, and I'm on my phone on Wi-Fi, and it's flawless. Like Nvidia has it. Like they figured it out, which makes sense because they're a graphics card company. You'd
Right.
think they you would think they would be the ones who could, you know, figure this out, and they're the ones doing it right because, it's you there is the free version where you can but it's only I think you may have to wait in queue if there's like a lot of people trying to use it or whatever, but and you can only do like 1 hour sessions at a time for the free version. So, it's like if you're out, if you're not subscribed to the premium, but you're traveling and you maybe want to like log in to check stuff, get your dailies for this game or that game, stuff like that. It's good, I guess, or if you just want to try it out. And then the paid version is $4.99 a month. Like I said, the first 3 months is free, so that's great. You know, it gives you more time to actually see the service in action. And it's not like Stadia where it's its own platform. You're playing the PC versions, and you're playing your own, like, because you're essentially logged into a virtual machine on their servers, and you're like, okay, log into Steam. There's your Steam library right there. Click on this game, click on that game, and it starts up. Or log into the Epic Game Store. There's your library, like
Mm-hmm.
you're able to use your existing library, which is you're able to I'm able to play with Pantsless Steve, who's playing, who's playing on PC, and because it is the PC version, unlike Stadia, where Stadia is its own version, which is I think I think that's where it it goes wrong for Stadia, is it being its own version and not just it's the PC version. I think that's their biggest mistake there.
Yeah.
Because, you've got GeForce Now, who's, hey, it's the version, it's the PC version, so you can play with your friends on PC. You already own it. You don't have to buy a separate version. That's great. And then xCloud, it's the games you own already. You're playing. Which xCloud also works pretty great.
I've yet to try it. I've downloaded it, but I've yet to try it.
Are you in the beta?
I thought it was free. I thought the beta was like for like data usage, but like for Wi-Fi usage, you could still do it.
No. What it is the free. You can download it, and anyone can stream games from their Xbox to their phone. But to actually use the xCloud,
okay,
that you have to have signed up for. Which I think you can still sign up for.
Yeah, I have Xbox game streaming. That's what I have.
Yeah, I think you can still sign up for it because they just released the iOS version, so their beta they're still doing the beta and all that stuff, of course. And their iOS is like only Master Chief Collection right now. But yeah, it's a toggle where it's like, oh, you want to stream any game from your Xbox? Okay, you can do that. Or you want to stream from the cloud? Here's a select, here's, I think it's more than 50 games, and you don't even have to own those games. Like, so that's kind of cool.
I wonder how many people actually, now that the free trial of Stadia is over, how many people stayed?
Oh, what was it? Was it Giant Bomb? Someone was like, or I was listening to some podcast, and someone was like, oh, no, it was okay. I remember someone was like, yeah, I forgot to cancel my 3-month Stadia, so I got charged for an extra month. I mean, that's what a lot of those things they're hoping for. They're hoping for people who
that's the ideal for, like, month to month subscriptions, is that you forget about them. That's what they want, because that means that they don't have to do anything and get paid for it.
Yeah, the GeForce Now works, like, and it really works well, like, and I'm able to play. I was able to play The Division 2 without any issues, and it looking really, really nice, and no lag at all, like I said. And my CPU total usage being at like 40%, if that much, versus The Division 2 running at 80 to 90% by itself. Which is just ridiculous. Like,
that is ridiculous.
Like, It's been a year. It's been like either a year or almost a year that game's been out, and it's still like that's still an issue. And I saw a lot of people like, "Oh yeah, it's the i5 processors it doesn't like," and but it's like I have an i7, so no, that and
It
it could be another
hates it's
thing where
hate it hates your CPU. That's the problem. Get rid of that and you're good.
and it could be another thing when you load up the division, it says like AMD, blah blah blah, Threadripper, like, and it's like, oh, that could be a reason. It's they're they aren't really considering Intel or whatever. They're considering AMD and Radeon and not necessarily Nvidia and Intel as far as optimization goes because they got a kickback.
Right.
So I don't know. But it's baffling how that can be it's baffling how like games there have been more games than you would think come out and they run fine on console, but PC versions have been not that great. Like, what was it? Wasn't Arkham Knight like that, and then the the Mordor game, right?
Yes.
Like those are two that I remember specifically. Like a lot of people, when it came out, like the PC versions were just broken.
Yeah.
But yeah, if anyone like if anyone is listening and they're interested, like I would check out the GeForce Now. Like I said, it's 3 months is free. You know, so when you sign up, like I signed up and then I was like, I told my Google Home like remind me to cancel on such and such. Like I think it was like 3 days before the actual date. Just so I'm because I was pretty sure that I wouldn't really need it, but like I could see, I could see this, I could see it being a something that people could really use, like people who want to play PC games but are afraid to or can't afford to buy a big PC or because $5 a month, that's $60 a year. That's not bad if you want to be able to, play PC games you know, at a good that you can play them in the ultra graphic settings or you can play they have like where you can play it 4K or 1080 HDR all the RTX all that stuff or
Mm.
ray tracing and or you can just play at like 720p 120 frames if you're all about that life that's their competitive setting. And it's just a button you click, in the settings, competitive or, performance if you want or your graphics if you just want like the best graphics or custom where you can like, you know, like oh I want 60 frames, but I do want 1080. I don't want 720, but stuff like that. So
Mm.
it's definitely an option for people to get into PC gaming who, you know, don't have the money or don't want to have to do the hassle, you know. It's definitely proof that the whole cloud gaming can work, and I'm
Absolutely.
glad them and Microsoft are both, like, they both took time to do betas, Microsoft is still in their beta, but they both did what was necessary, they took the time to do the betas, and I think the NVIDIA one was, like it was, like, a year-long beta, I wanna say, at least, so they took the time, unlike Google, where they're just like, "Hey, here's a beta, but it's not really a beta, you have to pay for it." But it's really a beta.
Right.
And oh, all these features we told you, like, why the wireless controllers, you can only have that for the Chromecast. Like, if you want to use a controller for your phone, you have to plug it in, with a cable. Or if you want to play on the computer, you have to plug it in with a cable. Or this feature doesn't work either, or you know, like what?
Yeah, if you want to share with your family, which we said you could, you can't.
Oh, you want to play
If you
4K? Oh, well, it says 4K, but it's really not 4K. Like,
no, it's actually like 720p.
I God, it's just that didn't.
We just
That
upscaled it a
just
lot,
yeah,
and
and then
you're not in.
Google's like
Again,
Google throws
we're
the
not going to tell
developers under
you,
the
but you're
bus,
playing on medium settings.
and Google's like, well, you can play in 4K. It's just the devs have to enable it and blah blah blah. And it's like, wow, you're really throwing the developers under the bus, like
And it's not
for
something we told
your
the
issues.
developers needed to be done.
Like that whole Stadia thing just, and I was speaking, I was, you know, like granted, I played when it was Project Stream in beta. I played like a couple hours of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, a single player game on a PC. So you know, I had a different. It's not
For the
like I was playing
most
on
part,
phone or
it works,
yeah, it
but
worked
it's just
fine when I was
everything
trying it, but
around it is shit.
and I what was it? Steve was giving me crap because he was like, "Oh, I remember you were singing praise about," and I'm like, "Yeah, well, that was also before. That was a single player game, and that was also before we realized these weren't just the PC versions of the game. Like my whole thing is Stadia is its own platform where you have to rebuy the games. Like that's
Yes,
the biggest problem for me with Stadia.
yes.
So." Alrighty, but yeah, that was one thing I really want to talk about. How GeForce Now, like, it really works. It's so good. Like, I'm surprised how well it works. Like, not you know, not just on like PC, but on mobile. Like, the thing that's weird on mobile is the controller vibrations don't. At least for Destiny, the controller vibrations didn't work.
Hmm.
I'm not quite sure if that's just how it is, you
Well,
know, mobile. Like or if it's just, you know,
as somebody who doesn't
just
play
Destiny.
with Rumble, I wouldn't have even noticed.
Yeah, I just I like that feedback, you know, like when you're firing, having that rumble.
I don't get it because like yeah, you get the feedback, but also if moving your hand, which also moves the stick, means your cursor is going to go.
It doesn't move it that much. For I feel
That's
like
why I didn't do
for
this. I went.
me,
It
yeah,
moves a little bit.
I don't know. It's just it's just a more gets you more immersive experience. At least that's how I feel. Like having that rumble, I kind of like that, but you know, like I it, I'm just used to it because it's on default and I've been playing with it for so long. So you know, but it is kind of weird to you know. I looked in the settings and I'm like, "It Rumble? No, Rumble is on in the Destiny settings. I wonder if it's just you know since it's streaming on mobile, and it's you know phone to controller or Bluetooth, if it's not able to activate, like if that's not a feature yet, or if that's an Android thing versus because I haven't really played many games on phone with a controller, so I don't know if like Android can't activate Rumble on controllers or if it's
I I would be surprised if it can't because I mean the phone can rumble.
can it? Yeah,
Hey,
I guess. I mean, for
your phone
games, like
vibrates.
yeah, but for games, I'm trying to think. Like,
Sure.
I guess, yeah. Anyways, yeah. So that was the one weird thing about it, though, that I noticed was like there's you know no rumble when I was firing, and it just felt kind of weird because I'm just so used to having some kind of you know sensory feedback when I've pulled the trigger, and it was just like nothing. And I haven't played any other. I guess I should maybe fire up some other games and see if it's just Destiny on it or if it's just I don't know. I'm gonna play around with that some more. But alrighty, what else you got to talk about?
I watched a couple movies over the past week.
Oh, okay. Some movies.
Yeah, it's a sequel. It was a movie and its sequel. I watched them actually in reverse order. Because the second one is on Netflix, but the first one is on Amazon Prime.
Don't you hate when that stuff happens?
Yeah, and I didn't realize this was a sequel to another movie till I looked it up. It's called The Iron Sky.
Oh, okay.
Have you heard of Iron Sky?
There's a sequel to that?
Yes, and it came out 2 years ago. I almost said last year.
Doesn't this movie have Nazis? Like,
oh, not just Nazis, moon Nazis.
Yeah, I was about to say like space Nazi. Yeah, I've never seen this, but I've seen it.
Oh, like, it's a trip. It is a trip. It is dumb, and it fucking knows it.
I'm assuming it's dumb, but it's like something where you're like, I could see this actually being a real thing if technology could bear it, because the Nazis were all into these weird shits. Like, that's some of my favorite stuff is listening.
Not to this extent.
Videos where people talk about, oh, Nazis were researching this stuff and trying to find this,
Yeah, like the whole premise is in like the 1940s, the Nazis ran away and set up a base on the dark side of a moon. And of course. the base is in the shape of a swastika. So, because they're moon Nazis. Why wouldn't it be?
Yep. Makes sense.
Yeah.
The moon and center of the earth. That's where they're at, right? That's an actual conspiracy that the Nazis are in the center of the earth.
That's the sequel.
Is it? Oh my god.
But wow. They're not Nazis. They're in fact lizard people.
Oh, of course, yeah. The lizard people are controlling us, and that's what the Illuminati
that's the sequel.
They're lizard people.
That is literally the sequel. Because, like, I come scrolling through Netflix, and I stopped on something, and it made me kind of pause, as one should, when they see Hitler riding a T-Rex. Because that was the image that was shown on Netflix. I'm like, I've got to know what the fuck this is. So that's how I watched the second movie before I watched the first movie.
Yeah, these were like straight to DVDs, right?
Probably. There's no. I think these were in like limited theaters. Because I looked up to see if there's going to be a third one. Because there was set up to be a fucking third one.
Because I remember seeing this like in the Google Play Store and stuff like that once upon a time ago, and just like, this doesn't look good at all.
It's dumb, but like it's the right kind of
like
dumb, and it
Transmorphers good. Like,
this is, I think, it's a little better than Transmorphers. Like I said, it's dumb, but it knows it's dumb in like the best way.
Okay.
Like for instance, like the whole reason I sent you that angry Hitler meme to see if you knew what it was, because literally in the first movie, the president's campaign manager literally does that scene.
Oh wow!
Like the whole angry Hitler scene where like people are gathered around Hitler's table, and he shakingly takes off his glasses and starts yelling at people. Like, as soon as I saw like her shakingly take off her glasses, I knew exactly what she was doing, and it goes for it.
It's a long meme too. Like,
I
remember when you said that to me, I'm like, is this a meme? Because this is like really long. It's like 3 minutes, right?
It is long, but it's funny though. And like they do like the whole scene, like people sitting out in the hallway, people crying. It was fantastic. And then in the sequel, I'm gonna kind of ruin the movie for you because who the fuck cares about the plot of this movie, about these movies?
So yeah.
The movie ends with a nuclear war between the countries for a fucking unknown reason. It's a dumb reason. But so in the second movie, like the survivors from the nuclear war take like the last remaining spaceship that the moon Nazis brought and went to the now empty moon Nazi base to live out the nuclear winter. And while several years pass between these, and the moon Fuhrer shows back up because there was a moon Fuhrer and says, "Oh no! In order to save, because this space station's kind of starting to run down. So to save it, you need to go back to Earth and capture the Holy Grail from the alien reptilian people who used to rule, were like every important person in history. You need to get the Holy Grail from them because that's actually an energy device that keeps them young, but also you need to get it away from them and their pet dinosaurs."
Question: is the Earth round or flat in the movie?
Oh, it's round, by the way. It is round.
I'm surprised.
Yeah,
that's a twist.
Well, the first movie came out in 2012. So I mean, the first movie it came out in 2012, but it took place in the far-flung future of 2018.
Oh wow, the future.
Right, where the president of the United States was a knockoff Sarah Palin.
Oh no! I hope we never get there.
So. And they were campaigning in 2018, so I'm like, that's not... that was an election year. But anyway. Yeah, and post-credits, they're sailing away from... they're heading to Mars.
Gotcha.
And guess what's on Mars? I'll give you a hint. It's the red planet. So what do you think's on Mars?
Besides Elon Musk's Tesla, I don't know. Oh, wait, that hasn't happened yet.
The commies.
The commies
are on Mars.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my god, I so hope there's a third one.
I'm not sure how they got to Mars, considering their history.
I don't know, but their city is, of course, in the shape of a hammer and sickle. So of course, what are you going to do?
Like with their history of the space program, like how they managed to get to Mars. It was all a ruse.
No, that one's actually a little bit more believable than the Nazis on the moon.
Really? Because well, yeah, of course, but
they were. We were the first to the moon. That was it. That was the only first we got. They got all the other firsts. They were the first in space. They were the first human in space.
Didn't they have a lot of tragedies?
So did we.
Actually getting there.
So did we.
I guess.
But anyways, yeah, I so hope that the third one has been shot. It's in pre-production hell or post-production hell at the moment. Because it was supposed to come out two years ago, and there's been no news about it since. So I'm like,
that Tom Holland movie.
I so want. I'm so waiting for Iron Sky 3. Oh right.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's crazy. It's crazy how movies can be like shot, but then like not come out for years. Was it Cabin Fever was that way too, right? Like Cabin Fever was or not Cabin Fever, Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, that was shot like before Chris Hemsworth was like a big star and then came
Right.
out like after the Avengers.
Right.
Yeah, cuz it was just like it turned out to be a good movie, I thought.
I liked it. I liked it.
Yeah. But
I would love there to be a third one.
I thought I had the worst movie to talk about this week.
But like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed them because they're so bad, but they're the good kind of bad. Oh, and in the second movie, I don't know if you remember. This was before our time, really, but it was like I think it was like 84 Super Bowl commercial by Apple. Where like the lady like runs into like there's a big giant face on a screen and she like does a big old hammer throw and smashes the screen.
Doesn't sound familiar.
Like Futurama ripped it off too.
I'm sure, yeah. I'm not surprised there. Simpsons probably did it too, because Simpsons did it.
Yeah, this one right here. You've not seen that commercial?
I don't think so. I think I remember Futurama version though.
Well, anyway, like that scene right there was literally done to break into a a church basically on the space station, and they call themselves Jobsists, and they worship the Holy Steve.
Wow.
And the preacher was played by Tom Green.
Not surprised.
No, yeah. Like him and I can't think of the dude's name. Like he was in both of the movies though. Are like the only like faces that I recognized. Like no other like actor. Although the guy they got to play Steve Jobs looked fucking like Steve Jobs. Like, holy shit.
Okay.
Yes, hey, spoiler, Steve Jobs was actually an alien reptile.
Oh, of course.
Living in the center of the moon, or Earth.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, that was it for me.
The horrible movie I watched was the new Charlie's Angels.
Oh, no, yours was just bad.
No, I don't think mine was as bad as yours.
Well, no, like yours was just plain old bad. Mine was bad but good.
There were some enjoyable parts, I guess. Like it had Patrick Stewart in it.
This is one with Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, and they connected this to the other movies, and I think the show. Yeah, because like there's a point where Patrick Stewart, like they made it to where Bosley is like a rank in the organization, which was
wasn't Bosley played by I know his name escapes me now. In the movie, or in the other movies. Shit.
It was Bernie Mac, right?
Bernie Mac. Yes, I was like
Yeah.
Big Mac. Nope, that's not what was his name.
But
Yeah, it
like
was played
they
by.
make because I remember when this was announced and we were reading like I think we were looking at like the casting and it's like, oh wait, Elizabeth Banks is Bosley. Oh wait, Patrick Stewart is Bosley. Oh wait, this person's like what? I'm confused. How are there multiple Bosleys? And it turns out Bosley is a rank in the organization. Like you get to a point
Because
and
of course.
like because Bosley just happens to be the handler for the certain angels he handles, and it's a worldwide organization now. And it's a Patrick Stewart. There's a point where it's like, oh, Patrick Stewart Bosley is retiring, and it's a party, and there's a slideshow video, and it shows like him. It shows like the pictures of him with uh Cameron Diaz, and then it shows like Lucy Liu and Drew Barrymore, and I can't remember. It must have shown like the old show, like Charlie's Angel show too. I'm not sure why it wouldn't, but if it was going to reference the other movies. But yeah, like, and it shows like, you know, basically like his life, whatever, and apparently whatever. And um, yeah, so the plot is like this big tech company has created this like this it's like a little like device, like kind of the size of like a stress ball, maybe a little bigger. But it's something you can hold in your hand, and it's like, it's futuristic. It's got like, you know, it's like hectagonal or octagonal, or it's got a lot of sides and whatnot on it, and angles and whatever. But it's like a renewable energy source or whatever, and it's gonna change the future. And oh, but the guy who's running it, he wants to get it out right away. And even though there's a problem, with it, where it can be hacked and it can shoot out this like EMP like thing that can actually affect the human body and kill people. You know, oh, he wants to just shoot, he wants to, sweep that under the rug. It happened to one person, and who cares if that person can't see colors or taste food anymore? Like, and the dude they have playing the CEO is just like, would you really expect that guy? Like that, I've seen that guy in lots of stuff, and I do not think he is like the CEO. Like he does not look like a CEO type to me. Let me try to find. You'll be like, oh, that guy. Okay. Hopefully you are. Let me try to find this. Charlie's Angels. There we go. 2019. Um, and of course it's all girl power this, girl power that, stuff like that. And
Sure.
it's like I said, like when I watched the trailer, like when it first came out, they really try to sexualize Kristen Stewart, and it's really weird. And they do
I'm
that at the very
watching.
beginning.
I'm flipping through like images on IMDb. I'm like, some of these are weird pictures of Kristen Stewart.
Oh crap! Yeah, and they like, I don't know. It's weird. There's the IMDb page for the guy who's like the CEO or whatever in charge. Like and it's like there's also like a benefactor who's like, like the actual owner or whatever, but that's the dude who's like in charge or whatever. And I'm just like, how the dude does comedy? Like, how are you gonna like? I know him from doing comedy and being goofy and stuff. Like, how are it's hard to sell someone like that as like a serious CEO type guy. But like,
Especially ones who's trying to kill people.
yeah, and like the like lead scientist lady, like she kind of confronts him and he's like not hearing it and he's like don't make trouble, whatever, and she's like okay, and then it's like, oh, it's going to market, and she decides, oh, I'm going to be a whistleblower, and that's where the angels get involved, and it has the dude from Guardians of the Galaxy, the guy who's like, and he's like, I'm Star-Lord, and the guy's like, who? That dude?
Okay.
Yeah. He was also in Captain Marvel, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's like the original Bosley, like, or no, he's like their original Bosley, like for the mission. But like,
Okay.
you know,
Damon Herd Hounsu?
quickly,
Or
spoilers, like, is this beginning of the movie? He gets killed. So like, by this crazy assassin dude, which, some of the action stuff's kind of cool. If you're gonna have a dumb action movie, hopefully the action scenes are at least good. You can always like turn your brain off as far as story wise goes, but as long as the action's good. But what is it? Yeah, Kristen Stewart and then the other chick get like there's this other like former MI6 agent who's now an angel or whatever, and they like butt heads throughout the movie until they don't, of course,
sure.
just like every movie like this.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's like them and then the agent, the whistleblower scientist, like, and they're trying to like it's them against the world or whatever, and then yeah, Elizabeth Banks becomes their second Bosley or whatever, and then there's all kinds of like, oh, is she good? Is she bad? Is she good? Oh, like craziness, and there's stuff with Patrick Stewart, even though he's supposedly retired. Oh no, he finds out that Elizabeth Banks put a tracking device in his champagne glass when they were having his retirement party, and oh, he suspected that she knew that he was getting onto her, and what's going on, and they try to do a lot of different twists and turns and stuff like that, and it's kind of like more confusing than like, "Oh my god, that was a crazy twist."
I just came across a picture in the Charlie's Angels IMDb thing. Miley Cyrus, Ariana Grande, and Lana Del Rey. I'm like, is this like the anti Charlie's Angels, but they're all singers? Because they're all
Were they in
posed
this
like
movie?
they're Charlie's Angels.
Maybe they did a song for or I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know. I don't remember them being in this. Maybe they were. I no, I don't. Maybe they did a song for the soundtrack and a music video to
Okay, that
be
makes
associated
that
with
makes
it.
more sense on some of these images I'm seeing after I keep going.
Yeah, like I don't know, like a Linkin Park with Transformers type thing, or I don't even know. I don't even know what that is. Wow. Yeah. Okay. But the movie is just like, and this was like it's another like late at night. Don't really want to commit to anything type movie. This just happens to be available now and to watch, and just I know it's gonna be bad, but maybe there's gonna be some redeeming parts to it. And there were some funny stuff. There was some cool action stuff, but like, boy, the whole like plot and science behind this really was hard to get past. It was bad. Like, yeah, it was pretty bad, but alrighty. Yeah, that's Charlie's Angels, the new movie, like Kristen Stewart, Elizabeth Banks, Patrick Stewart and two people I don't really know who they are. The other two on that picture you got, I don't even know who they are.
All right.
Like, yeah.
Well, I did watch a good movie though.
Oh, you did? Okay. I want to
Did
hear. I like good movies.
and I actually went to the movie theater to see this movie.
Oh,
Although I expect it to come out on streaming very soon because it's been out a while. The new Jumanji.
oh, yeah. I'm waiting for this to come out. Yeah, it should be out soon, right? Because this came out in December.
Yeah, it should be out soon. It was good. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it brings back the entire cast from the last one. And adds two more. Morgan Freeman and why is his name escaping me? His name should not escape me. Yes, you could.
I don't know. I was semi worried about this one because the first one was so good.
Danny DeVito. God fucking damn it.
Oh yeah, Danny. Yeah, okay.
And it wasn't Morgan Freeman. It was Danny Glover. I don't.
Yeah, I
want
was
to
about
make
to
that
say,
mistake.
wasn't it? Yeah,
Nope.
I was about to say, like, it.
I don't want to make that mistake. It was Danny Glover.
They play the grandparents, right?
No, they play. Danny DeVito plays the grandfather of the main guy, the guy who went into The Rock's body. He plays his grandfather, and Danny Glover,
like the friend.
Yeah, he's like a former business partner of Danny DeVito.
This is where I was saying it kind of worried me a little. Like, it could be the way they would handle this, because I could see it being good or bad, you know?
It was good.
That's okay. I'm glad to hear that. I am glad to hear that, because the first one was funny.
This one was just as funny. Like Danny Glover's character, like his kind of thing is like he takes a really long time to really say anything. Like he just like he doesn't get straight to the point. And he plays or he goes into Kevin Hart's body. And that character is a zoologist. So, like, he'll be talking and like he'll say like a bunch of facts about the animals that they're seeing, and then like after a minute he'll say the part that they need to know, like, oh yeah, they also these ostriches they also run in herds. Fuck. And yeah, it's funny, and it adds like a couple new characters to the Jumanji game as well. And
Kevin Hart and The Rock are so good together, aren't they?
They are,
and they're like friends in real life, because I've seen.
Well, if you've seen the Rock's TikTok, like Kevin Hart shows up in them a lot.
Yeah, they're like actual friends, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. But it's really good. I don't want to really say much more, but it's really good. And
give me more Karen Gillan. Yeah, I'm
absolutely
all about that.
Absolutely,
yeah, I'm all about that.
And funny enough, like the character who played her is the only person that jumped into the same body as they were last time.
That's kind of, yeah, I guess kind of good. Like, at least one consistent. carryover. Yeah. Where I'm sure there's parts where they're all like, "Why did you get the same one and we didn't?" Or
Yeah.
are all four of the main like kids back
Yes.
in some way? Okay.
Yes. They're all
So
back.
okay, I wasn't quite sure because I'm not. The trailer was I don't remember the trailer being too like it doesn't give away a lot, which I kind of like. I like when trailers don't give away a whole lot of the movie.
And actually, a person from the original Jumanji shows up.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Trying to think about the original Jumanji.
And this is it's in the real world too, like not in the game world, like a person from the original Jumanji
okay.
shows up. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. It's been a while since I've watched the original Jumanji.
Yeah, it's been a while for me too, but I remember a lot about it though. Like I watched it a bunch. But yeah, that's kind of all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to say much about it because you need to watch it. It's good. It's just as good as the first one.
I plan to watch it. I'm kind of surprised it's not out on like VOD or digital rental because Knives Out is, and that's still in theaters as well.
Funny enough, what we were going to see was either Jumanji or Knives Out.
Have I talked about Knives Out?
No.
Oh, I saw that.
I want to see it. I want to see it.
It's so good. It's really good.
I've heard it's good. I've heard it's good, and I like the who done it genre. So
it's a little different than what the trailer portrays. I'll say that without giving away too much. But then again, like I said, I like that in trailers. I don't like the trailer to give away everything to where you're like, why did you do that? That would have been such a cool moment, to experience, for the first time in the actual movie. Which is also why I think like good on Marvel for like creating that Hulk scene in Wakanda and then that's not even in the movie. Like
making fake trailers.
They've done that with other stuff too, right? Where they've like added stuff that wasn't actually in the movie.
I think so.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I remember like hearing about, oh yeah, remember that wasn't in there. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. And I guess you can't really do that, unless it's a movie like Infinity War that's gonna make over $1 billion. Because,
right.
That's a significant cost to create a scene and add the Hulk in it just for a trailer.
Or it could have been like an alternate scene that they decided to actually finish.
Then again, that Hulk scene in the trailer looked a lot better than what's his name in the Hulkbuster suit. I remember that looked really off, but
it did. Yeah,
Knives Out is good. I highly recommend checking that out. It's out on digital rental.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I just haven't gotten it yet, but I will at some point.
It's good. Like Daniel Craig is pretty good in this movie. And they're making a sequel with Daniel Craig's character.
Yes, based off of his character. Yeah.
He's not the main character of the movie.
Right, but he ended up kind of being the standout character of the movie, though.
Yeah.
From what I've heard,
he's definitely the main supporting character of the movie, I would say. Yeah, but which Who would you think is the main character in based off the trailer?
It's been a while since I've seen the trailer. I can't even think of who else is in it.
It's Chris Evans. He's in it. Um, oh, what's her name? I'm drawing a blank. Um, Halloween. Freaky Friday.
Oh,
What's her name? I'm drawing a blank.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah, she's in it. Don Johnson's in it, which I adore Don Johnson. Maybe that's just because that's because my parents always watched stuff with Don Johnson growing up. Like, what was it? That show with Cheech Marin back like in the 90s. I watched that a bunch. Nash Bridges,
Miami
that's
Vice?
what it was.
Oh,
No.
yeah. Cheech wasn't in Miami Vice.
Yeah. Miami Vice was before I was born, right? So
At the end of the
sure
year
that
you were
was
born.
80s. Yeah. But no, Nash Bridges with Cheech Marin and Don Johnson, and then
Yeah.
I've seen Don Johnson in various other things, so it's always fun when he pops into something. And then I can't remember if there's anyone else real big name worthy.
Frank Oz. Just looking at the cast.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, though, I would say Chris Evans because he's like the other big name.
You'd be wrong.
Interesting.
Like the main character in the movie is someone you don't really expect at all, based from the trailer, which I kind of enjoyed.
Okay, but yeah. Okay, that's it. What do you have now?
What else I've got to talk about? Let me pull up my watch list for Verve, see if there's anything worthwhile talking about there.
I watched like no anime, like no new anime.
Food Wars. I think I mentioned that a little to you. That's good. That just made me want to cook more and eat better food. Which I love cooking. It's just cleaning up. That's what sucks.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's the thing I hate the most is cleaning up, and then all the dishes sit in the sink for a couple of days or a week, and then I go to actually clean it, and like, oh fuck, this is dried on, and even harder to clean than it would have been if I cleaned it right away.
Here's an anime I can talk about. Relife.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever watched that?
No. Okay, no. It's not what I was thinking it was.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen it as I scrolled by.
It's pretty good. It's this like, I'm not sure how it exists. Like you just gotta throw it out the window. The logic. It's anime, but there's this pharmaceutical company who like approaches this one guy who like just lost his job or whatever, and he's like 28 or he's either 27 about to be 28 or he's 28, I can't remember, but he like just lost his job. His parents are cutting him off and stuff, which the one thing that always confuses me in anime is some of the like family culture and stuff. Like,
yeah, like oh, he lives by himself. He's in fucking middle school. What the hell? He has his own apartment. He lives in middle school. What? How?
Yeah, his parents are like and stuff like that, and like paying for him
both of his parents work overseas.
Yeah, and was it? I think real quick, Gavin from Achievement Hunter recently was like, "Yeah, it's just assumed, and over in the UK, like you live with your parents till you're like 30 and stuff like that." And it's like, and was it Jeff was like, "No, no, when you're 18, you get the fuck out here." Like, it's like,
Eh,
okay, it's interesting how
when
different
you're done with
cultures.
college, then yeah,
Yeah,
then you move
yeah,
out,
but it's just
which
it's just a
which is
lot
our
of the
early
different.
20s. So
Yeah, a lot of the different culture stuff is just like little kind of funny that you kind of have to piece together as you watch different animes, and then you're like, I guess that's the norm over there. I guess that's the
that,
way it is.
or it's well, like if you think of like cartoons now, like Ed, and Eddie, we're all those fucking kids. We're all those parents. You never see any of those parents, so you assume all those kids live alone.
I guess I don't know. I never really thought about it, but it's always their parents are at work. You know, they work 24 hours, 7 days a
Exactly.
week.
Yeah.
But Real Life is like pharmaceutical company approaches this guy when he's at like the lowest point of his life or whatever, and he's like pretty much just like his jobs were pretty much just like he was doing the bare minimum he had to get by. He was like, not he was like a step away from being like a neat or uh that other term I can't remember what it's called. There's another term that's similar to that, but
Yeah, you talked about it last time. I forget what it was now.
yeah, I looked it up. And I've heard it in other animes too, where it's not. I don't know, but um, he approaches them and it's like, hey, we have this pill that you take, and it'll it'll change your body back into a high schooler, and we want you to attend high school for a year, and we'll pay all your expenses and all this and that because we want to help like people like you. We want to help people like you like have a new life, a re-life, and you know try to get you back into society. And high school, I guess, is they think is the best way to get reacclimated into like a society type role, where you're like associating yourself with people because you're kind of like forced to be around people and communicate and all this and that. And it's not quite clear like how they make money off of this, but apparently like or maybe they're it's just in trial, like this is like trial, like he is like subject to like there was like one person before him apparently, and like also his handler like takes the pill and goes to high school with him, but is like, like, yeah, I'll talk to you occasionally, but like, you can't rely on me because I'm just here to monitor the experience, I'm
Uh,
just here to take notes and, you know, monitor the experience and report back to the proper, chain of command and all this and that. And you get, you get do you see like a 28-year-old having to go back to high school? And it's kind of there's some stuff that you'd be like, okay, yeah, that'd be, you'd think, oh yeah, high school, I could go back to high school and be
so
fine.
easy.
No, no, because he's like failing tests left and right, and it's like, oh, you fail a test, you have to keep taking makeup tests until you actually and he's like always having to take a makeup test because it's like, stuff, I don't remember, you know algebra, or I remember basic like stuff from
Right.
algebra or trig or calculus.